Okay, hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Nabilah binti Muhammad Nasir. So, before I proceed to consumer credit chapter, I will briefly explain about personal financial planning. Personal financial planning is a term that covers managing your money as well as saving and investing. It encompasses budgeting, banking, insurance, mortgage, investment, retirement planning, and estate planning. Okay, consumer credit. Consumer credit as defined as the way of controlling your money because the credit need to pay, and also as defined as the power of purchase and borrow. Okay, investment planning. Investment planning as defined as the process of matching your financial goals and objective your financial resources. Retirement planning defined as the process if determining retirement income goals and the action and decision necessary to achieve your goals. Okay, estate planning. Estate planning as defined the process of developing a plan to administer and distribute your assets after death in a manner that is consistent with your wish and the needs of your survivors while minimizing the... Okay, I will continue my part from consumer credit chapter. Consumer credit can be defined as the way of controlling money because credit need to be paid. Also can define as the power of buy or borrow. Consumer credit is personal debt taken on to purchase goods and service. A credit card is one form of consumer credit, although any type of personal loan could be labeled consumer credit. The term is more often used to describe unsecured debt that is taken on to buy everyday goods and services. Okay, there are two types of consumer credit, which is open account credit and closed-end credit. Open account credit is a financial arrangement between a lender and borrower that allows the latter to access credit repeatedly up to specific maximum limit. Once the borrower starts making requirement to the account, the money becomes available for withdrawal again, since it is a revolving fund. Okay, closed-end account is type of credit that should be paid in full amount by the end of the term by a specific date. The repayment include all the interest and all kind of mortgage payment and lending. Okay, under open account credit, there are four types of credit, which is credit card, charge card, retail charge card, and revolving retail card. Okay, under closed-end credit, there are three types of debt, which is personal loan, car loan, and educational loan. Okay, the factors that you must consider it before choose your financial. Okay, first, cost of financing. Cost of financing is known as finance cost. Is the cost, interest, and other charges involved in the borrowing of money or to build or purchase the asset. Okay, processing fee. Processing fee is the cost charged for online transaction. The percentage is based on the order amount, and the flat amount is based on the number of transactions. Repayment schedule. Process of paying a debt over time through regular payment. Maturity. Maturity is the date the contract between issuer and investor end. Okay, the lender financial requirement. Okay, the lender financial requirement is the requirement that financial institution looks at when evaluating loan application.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shazwan bin Shafi'i. I'm from class BA 2404B. My matrix ID 2020941663. For a start, investment planning can be defined the process of matching your financial goals and objective your financial resource Investment planning is a core component of financial planning. Next, investment planning divided into 7 types of investment, which is investment in saving account, investment in fixed deposit, investment in share, investment in bond, investment in residential home, investment in residential properties, and lastly, investment in unit trust. So now, who is eligible to open a fixed deposit account? Firstly, individuals aged 18 years and above, including non-resident of Malaysia, societies, associations and clubs, joint individuals, and lastly, companies. The importance of investment planning is can establish realistic goals and also can determine our money needed to meet our goals. So from that, we can specify amount money that available to use in the platform of investment. We can also list different investment platform to evaluate. So the output from it, we can evaluate risk and potential return for each and can reduce possible investment realistic with our target. So from that, we can make choice to make investment on any suitable platform and can continue evaluate our investment. The sources that we can get the information about investment is directly now through the internet, such as Google. Then newspaper and programs about the investment, business periodicals such as Smart Money and government publications, corporate reports, and lastly, investor services and newsletter such as Value Line, Morningstar, and financial calculators. Next, risk factor which is often present in the investment world is inflation risk, interest rate risk, business failure risk, market risk, and global investment risk. For the last part, factors that can reduce the investment risk. First thing first, we can evaluate potential investment. From that, we can seek the assistance of our financial planner and can monitor the value of our investment things. We also keep accurate and current records and consider the tax consequences of selling our investment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Izwan Fatana bin Mokhtar and my matrix number 2020350919 and I'm from BA 2404B. So today I would like to talk about retirement planning. Before we go further, I will explain the definition retirement planning. It is defined as the process of determining the retirement income goals and the action and decision necessary to achieve those goals. It is referred to a financial strategy of saving, investment, and ultimately the distribution of the money means to sustain oneself during retirement. Retirement planning takes into account not only assets and income, but also future expenses, liabilities, and life expectancy. And retirement planning is an essential part of financial planning. And what's so important of retirement planning? It is because it can give to live a comfortable standard of living during retirement in stress-free life. And second, to determine the level of income needed during retirement. And third, to ensure an additional sources of income. And lastly, to help in dealing with medical emergencies, fulfill life aspiration, and be financially independent. So, how to plan your retirement? First, determine the investment horizon. That means decide the age at which they want to retire that subtract with the number of years left until retirement. Second, estimate the current expenses. That means needs to assume for more expenses as we grow old, such as medical expenses. Third, start investing early. Means they can invest small amount regularly to reach their target amount. Lastly, avoid using the funds kept aside for retirement. That means we should refrain from using the retirement fund for a child education or marriage or any other purpose. Instead, investor can plan out their life goals and allocate some amount to it every month. Let's continue for the Malaysian government agency that can help us in retirement planning. First is Public Service Department, PSD. It is also known as Jabatan Perkhidmatan Awam, JPA. It is responsible for the public service in Malaysia. It is to improving a governance, upholding accountability and transparency in government administration. The PSD serves as the central agency in reforming the overall public service towards greater efficiency and effectiveness in both inspire confidence and trust in the civil service among the people. The objective of PSD in retirement planning is to emphasize on the welfare of retirees and a patient recipient through improvement of a post-service policy. And the function of PSD also is to determine a patient and retirement benefits. And secondly is to manage the appointment, placement, remuneration, promotion, retirement benefits, service condition, employer and employee relation, training, and human resource database. The second agency that can help us in retirement planning is Employees Provident Fund, EPF. Employees Provident Funds in Malaysia we call as Kumpulan Wang Simpanan Pekerja, KWSP, is a federal statutory body under the Ministry of Finance. It's manage the compulsory saving plan and retirement planning for private sector workers in Malaysia. It's a social security institution formed according to the law of Malaysia Employee Provident Fund Act 1991 Act 452. And this agency also provides retirement benefit for members through a management of their savings in an efficient and reliable manner. The objective of EPF is to manage the provident fund of the government, public and private sector employees. And EPF is intended to help employees from the private sector save a fraction of their salary in a lifetime banking scheme. To be used primarily as a retirement fund, but also in the event that the employee is temporarily or no longer fit to work. EPF also provides a framework for employer to meet a legal and moral obligations to their employees. EPF strives to grow the members' retirement saving while continuously developing a wide range of products and services to support their journey towards a comfortable retirement. And the purpose of this agency to be a social security organization primarily providing retirement benefit for private sector and pensionable employees in Malaysia. And why you should become an EPF member? First, as an employee, you are required to contribute to the EPF under the EPF laws, which are intended to protect your interests beyond your working life. And the second, in the absence of the source of income or saving, the EPF saving will at least provide some financial security for you when you are no longer employed. With adequate saving, you will be able to have a comfortable retirement life and need not depend on the others for financial support. That's all for me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Waluman Hakim bin Abdul Halim. Today I will tell you about estate planning. There are 7 potential estate planning problems that we need to know. Firstly is excessive transfer cost, which is taxes and estate admin expenses higher than necessary. Number 2 is lack of liquidity. Number 3, improper disposition of asset, where beneficiary receive the wrong asset or proper asset in the wrong manner. And lastly, at the wrong time. Number 4, inadequate income at retirement. Number 5, inadequate income if disabled, for example, high medical costs. Number 6, inadequate income for family at estate owner's death. And lastly, special problem. Your property can be divided into 2 estates. First, probate estate. probate estate is the real and personal property owned by a person that can be transferred at death. Number 2 is gross estate. Gross estate is all property that might be subject to federal estate taxes on a person's death. There are 7 steps in the estate planning process. Number 1, assess your family situation and set estate planning goals. Number 2, gather comprehensive and accurate data, like details, for example, the area of a land. Number 3, list all the assets and determine the value. Number 4, design beneficiaries of your estate's assets. Number 5, estimate estate transfer cost. Number 6, formulate and implement your plan. And lastly, review the plan periodically and revise it as necessary. Estate planning instruments have 2 categories. First, tested estate when a person's death leaves a will. Number 2, intestate estate when a person's death doesn't leave any will. The power of summary administration, small estate or high court is exercised if there is a will or not. Number 2, movable property in Malaysia, and then the amount not exceed than 600,000. Number 4, no person is entitled to apply for a grant of probate. Number 5, no petition. And lastly, there is a person making a claim of a property. Will is a written and legal. A Muslim can distribute 1/3 of their estate through a will. For example, he will give an estate to his stepson. Another 2/3 will be distributed through fara'id. Meanwhile, non-Muslim can distribute all their estate through will. There are 9 steps to write a will. First, take inventory. Second, decide who gets what. Third, consider taxes. Number 4, talk about your will and your intention. Number 5, create a trust. Number 6, be responsible. Number 7, separate the wealth. Number 8, review and update regularly. And lastly, leave more than money. For the last slide is about fara'id. Fara'id is the law of inheritance in Islam. There are 3 causes of inheritance under fara'id. First is nikah, number 2 is relationship, and lastly is kinship. For example, in this picture, when a husband dies and lives without any wills, then the estate will be distributed under fara'id. The wife parent will not get any of the estate. The wife will get the smallest portion of the estate. And lastly, his son will get the most portion of the estate among of them. That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Mahfuzah binti Mohammed. I will explain about future financial challenge. Future financial challenge are the obstacles you will have to overcome regarding your financial trouble, which will prevent you from proceeding as you intended. It might be long or short term, depend on the trouble you are facing. So, what are the future financial challenges that people will likely encounter? The first one is spending exceed income. Most people are having difficulties when their expenses surpass their income. The second one is lack of financial management skill. It is hard for those who do not have budgeting skill to manage their finance properly. The third one we have is no emergency fund. If people do not have an emergency fund, life events such as the loss of income or other unanticipated event might leave them in a hole. And lastly, we have credit card debt. On any amount carried over from one month to the next, credit card just incur hefty interest costs, so the debt will just burden the borrower. And what are the solutions? The first one is when expenses outweigh income, there are 3 options. You can raise your income, cut your spending, or do both. The second one is learn fundamental personal financial skills, as your degree of knowledge financial management will influence every aspect of your life. The third one is save 3 to 6 months worth of expenses according to the standard recommendation. However, the amount needed in your emergency fund is determined by your life circumstance and income. Unless you can change your credit card to personal loan. Some personal loan provide lower interest rate than credit card. As is it consolidating your credit card debt with a personal loan might save you money on interest and help you get out of debt. Is it important to manage our finance? Well, you will understand your financial condition more if you do personal finance management, and you will figure out if your sources of money are sufficient enough to support your lifestyle. You can also properly organize your spending and saving, as it is important to remember that good personal financial management emphasizes saving above spending. Besides, you can establish clear financial goals, since personal finance management can assist you in devising the most effective approach for achieving them. And it also helps you to create money machines. What I mean here is you will be more pumped out to earn more income to keep your expenses under control.